In the beginning, there was nothing, but a nothing that was waiting, heavy, dense, breathing with potential, a timeless sea of possibilities, where future galaxies slept, compressed into a point smaller than a pinhead, and from this unfathomable void, this primordial chaos, or, as the Greeks would later name it, chose something first was born, not a god, not a spirit, a force, an element in its purest, most untamed form. The ancients called them differently: Titans, primordials, great dragons, Asuras, spawn of the abyss. They did not rule the world. They were the world. Their bodies are the rocks and oceans. Before rocks and oceans existed, their thoughts are gravity and light. Before the laws of physics came to be, they are the very flesh of reality, in its infantile, furious, unconscious state. But unconscious power has one fatal flaw. It cannot create. It can only be, eternally and unchangingly. For the birth of light, thought, order, destiny, will was needed. A mind was needed, capable of drawing a boundary between light and darkness, earth and sky, past and future. Gods were needed, and their coming was inevitable. But the ancient giants had no intention of yielding their kingdom. Thus began the greatest wars in the entire history of the cosmos. Not battles for a throne or treasure. Wars for the very essence of being. Wars where the victor did not simply seize power, he forged a new world from the body of the vanquished. Today, we shall bear witness to 5 such epical conflicts, 5 acts of divine drama, where reality itself was at stake. Imagine a world governed by instinct. A world where a father, fearing the loss of power, devours his newborn children. This is the realm of Cronus and the Titans. Their rule is not rule at all. It is an endless, cyclical repetition of the same day. Power for power's sake. Force devoid of purpose. They are the very inertia of the cosmos. And when Rhea, the mother of Zeus, hides her son, tricking Cronus with a stone, she commits the first act of defiance against cosmic stagnation. In a cave on Crete grows not just a god. A principle grows, the principle of change, vengeance, and new law. Having come of age, Zeus frees his brothers and sisters from their father's womb, and a war begins that will shake the foundations of the world, the Titanomachy. 10 years of unceasing battles. But observe how the sides fight. The Titans are pure and differentiated might. They hurl entire mountain ranges, like pebbles. Their weapon is the earth itself. The gods fight differently. Zeus employs strategy. He releases from Tartarus the 100-handed hecaton cheers, and the one-eyed Cyclops, the former living catapults, the latter divine smiths, forging weapons unknown to the old world, thunders and lightnings. This is not merely a battle of forces. It is a battle of paradigms, brute might against organized technology and tactics. And now, the final clash, Olympus versus Mount Othrys. The air is seared by lightning. The earth cracks under the Titans' feet. The hecaton cheers. These living siege engines bombard the enemy with 300 hands simultaneously, with a hail of 100 rocks, and into this chaos bursts Zeus. He does not merely hurl lightning bolts. He charges the very atmosphere with them, turning the entire sky into one giant weapon. His strike is not a sword blow. It is a system failure. In the very program of the old world, Cronus is defeated. But what to do with the vanquished Titans? Greek myth makes its most radical and grim move. The Titans are not killed. They are not transformed into a new world. They are imprisoned in the copper bowels of Tartarus, located so deep beneath Hades that a bronze anvil would fall for 9 days to reach it. Chaos is shackled in chains and cast into an eternal dungeon. The victory is absolute, but it gives birth to an eternal division. The bright, ordered Olympus and the subterranean, suppressed, yet living threat. Order has triumphed, but at the cost of eternal fear that the restrained may one day break free. If the Greeks imprisoned chaos, the Babylonians went further. In their epic Ema-Eli, the initial state of the world is not earth and sky, but to monstrous aquatic beings, the freshwater Apsu and the saltwater Tiamat, whose union gave birth to the first gods. But the gods are noisy. They disturb the peace of the ancient waters, and Apsu, the embodiment of stillness and stagnation, decides to destroy them. Here lies the key difference. The Titan, Apsu, wants to return the world to non-existence, to a state before creation. He is killed by the cunning god E, but this only unleashes the true horror. For Tiamat, the primeval Mother Ocean, is enraged. She does not merely attack, she transforms. From her body, she gives birth to a legion of monsters. Giant serpents with venom for blood, rabid hounds, scorpion men, dragons with scales of polished armor. She appoints a new consort, King U, as her commander, and bestows upon him the tablets of destiny, an artifact governing the flow of the universe. Tiamat is no longer an element. She is an enraged, conscious, armed to the teeth cosmic power, and against her stands her own great-grandson, the young storm god, Marduk. The Council of Gods offers Marduk kingship. If he defeats Tiamat, he agrees, but sets a condition. His word must become law. And so he enters the duel. Not army against army, single combat. Marduk is armed with magic. He creates 7 hurricanes that confound the monsters, and the impetuous wind, which he sends into the gaping maw of the charging Tiamat. Imagine, the wind inflates her from within, like a balloon, paralyzing her gigantic body, and then Marduk shoots an arrow into her, which cleaves her in two. And here occurs the greatest act of creative violence. Marduk does not simply win. He performs cosmic surgery. One half of Tiamat's body he raises aloft and creates the heavenly vault, which he props up, so the waters do not pour back. From the other half, he creates the earth. Her tears become the sources of the Tigris and Euphrates, her skull the dome of the sky, her entrails the clouds, her fury the winds. Chaos was killed, dismembered, and architecturally repurposed into a habitable cosmos. The god did not defeat the Titan, he used it as the only available building material. Norse myth offers a different path here. There is no primordial chaos that needs to be destroyed. There is a primordial void, Ginnungagap, and 2 realms, the fiery Muspelheim and the icy Niflheim. Their interaction gives birth to life, and 2 races of gods are born. The Sur, Odin, Thor, Tyr, gods of power, law, rune magic, war, and judgment, and the Vanir, Njur, Freyr, Freya, gods of fertility, earth, wealth, sensuality, and the prophetic magic of Seer. They are not titans, they are other, and their war, the Sur-Vanir war, is not a war against chaos, but a civil war within the divine itself. The war begins over an insult. The Vanir priestess Gulvi, who came to Asgard, was burned 3 times by the Sur, but the reason is deeper. It is a conflict between 2 incompatible types of power, the rigid, patriarchal, vertical power of the Sur and the organic, horizontal, cyclical power of the Vanir. They fight, but something amazing happens. Neither can win. Any Sur attack drowns in the fertile power of the Vanir. Any Vanir magic shatters against the unyielding will of the Sur. The war reaches a stalemate, and then they stop. Both sides, weary of the senseless slaughter, agree to a truce, and they decide to exchange hostages. The Sur send to the Vanir the giant Mimir, the bearer of wisdom, and the god Nir, handsome but indecisive. The Vanir send to the Sur Njur, the god of sea wealth, and his children, the twins Freyr and Freya. This is not merely an exchange of prisoners, it is an exchange of essences, an attempt to integrate the other within oneself. And it works. Freya teaches Odin seer magic previously considered unworthy of an Sur male. Freyr brings knowledge of harvest cycles, Njur of the riches of the sea. The Sur, in turn, structure this flow of life. They did not defeat the Titans. They assimilated them, concluded a marriage with them. The war ended not in triumph, but in synthesis. A fragile yet strong balance was created, the foundation for the world of humans, which would last until Ronarch. Order and nature found a modus vivendi. This is the wisest, most mature outcome of all the cosmogonic wars. The Indian epic offers the most intricate, multi-layered story. here. There is no direct war. There is an initial state churning butter, and there are two groups of beings, the Devas, gods of light and law, and the Asuras, titans, demons of strength and ego. Both are mortal. Both desire Amrita, the nectar of immortality, hidden at the bottom of the cosmic ocean of milk, and they decide to cooperate. It is a grand enterprise. The mountain rotates. The serpent writhes in pain. From its maw spews venom that Shiva drinks, saving the cosmos. Treasures rise from the ocean. The white elephant, the magical horse, the wish-fulfilling tree, the goddess Lakshmi. This is an allegory of spiritual labor. Only the joint, incredible effort of opposites can extract something valuable from chaos. But then, Amrita appears, a golden pot with a drink, glowing like 1,000 suns, and the fragile alliance shatters in an instant. A fight breaks out, and here, the supreme god, the preserver of the cosmos Vishnu, intervenes. He does not take the side of the gods with a sword in hand. He assumes the form of Mohini, the perfect, divinely beautiful female enchantress, and his weapon is not strength, but illusion, might, enchanted all. Both gods and Asuras trust her to distribute the Amrita, and Mohini, with the grace of a dancer, begins to give out the nectar, only to the Devas. The Asuras, mesmerized by her beauty, do not even notice the deception. This is not a victory in battle. It is a victory of reason over instinct, of art over brute force. But one Asura, Rahu, infiltrates the ranks of the gods. He takes a sip of Amrita. Vishnu Mohini instantly beheads him with his discus. But the sip has been taken. Rahu's head becomes immortal, forever flying across the sky, to occasionally swallow the sun and moon, causing eclipses. Even in perfect victory, a particle of chaos remains, sewn into the very mechanism of the world. Immortality was obtained by cunning, not by force, and even this cunning was not absolute. And finally, the most peaceful, most tragic, and most grand myth, the Chinese story of Pangu. Here, there is no enmity. There are no two sides. There is a single primordial being, born inside a cosmic egg, from a mixture of yin and yang, and his struggle is not with an external enemy, but with a state of non-separation. Pangu sleeps for 18,000 years, and awakens with one goal: to separate the sky from the earth, which are stuck together in the cramped egg. He does this with his own body. Every day he grows several meters, pushing the heavenly vault higher and higher. The weight he holds is unimaginable. He is the living column between heaven and earth. And so, 18,000 years pass. Sky and earth are finally separated. The task is complete, and here Pangu dies. He falls from exhaustion. His mission is over. But his death is not the end. It is the greatest act of self-abnegation and creation. His breath becomes the wind and clouds, his voice the peals of thunder. His left eye transforms into the golden, warm sun, his right eye into the silver, cold moon. His flesh and blood fertilize the earth, becoming soil and rivers, his bones and teeth precious stones and metals. The sweat from his body rain and dew. The parasites on his skin, the first humans. The Titan is not defeated. He voluntarily sacrificed himself, dissolved, transmuted, so that from his single body, all the diversity of a harmonious world could arise. Victory here lies in absolute self-annihilation for the life of others. So, 5 paths: imprison chaos underground, dismember it and build a house from it, conclude a marital union with it and live in a fragile peace, deceive it with cunning and beauty, or dissolve into it, becoming it. 5 fundamental strategies of the mind's relationship to blind, unconscious might. But ask yourself, have the Titans gone? They are in the core of our planet, where molten iron rages. They are in the tectonic plates that slowly, inexorably break continents. They are in hurricanes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions. They are in the dark matter that makes up most of the universe, and which we cannot comprehend. And most importantly, they are within us. in the unconscious instincts, in blind rage, in ancient fears inherited from ancestors who looked at lightning and saw in it the wrath of a god. The Titan is the wild and domesticated part of reality, and the god is our mind, forever trying to understand it, name it, predict it, and, if possible, control it. The myths of gods and titans are not fairy tales about the past. They are a map of our eternal internal and external battles. The battle of culture with nature, of reason with instinct, of order with freedom. Next time you feel rage or see a raging element, remember you are looking at a titan, and when you suppress that rage or build a dam against the storm, you will perform a small act of a god. The war continues, and we are all participants in it. That's all. 5 universes, forged in battles. We hope this epic journey was as thrilling for you as it was for us. Now, it's your turn to act. Vote for the most impressive myth right now. Like, if you're on Team Imprison Chaos and Tartarus with the Greeks, comment if you have your own theory about which war's outcome was the wisest. Perhaps you're closer to Vishnu's cunning or Pangu's sacrifice. Tell us in the comments, what kind of titan are you inside? An untamable volcano of emotions, a deep ocean of intuition, or perhaps the dark matter of unfathomable thoughts? Let's discuss. Your ideas are priceless to us, and to make sure you don't get lost, subscribe and hit the bell. Ahead await goddesses, monsters, magic, and the secrets of ancient civilizations. Thank you for watching. See you in the next myth.